What they talking about ain't talking about nothing. What's up, y'all? It's Jay here, your accountability coach and ghetto psychologist, and it is my life's purpose to help Black people navigate this patriarchal system of white supremacy. Again, my name is Jay Lovelii. Here on this channel, Lovely Thoughts, we talk about everything you can think of, from parenting to celebrity news to what your mama said to you last year. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. So, okay, look, before I get started on what we're gonna talk about today. I made my last video I made was about Diddy. And since then, I've noticed that Marlon Wayans has come out to basically take up for the diddler. This is the second time Marlon has done this. The second time. It's the second time Marlon has gone out his way to extend grace to a Black man for being problematic. Let me take a deep breath because it's very disappointing. Okay. And I'm going to say why it's disappointing. And y'all got to stop using grace as an excuse to basically excuse what motherfuckers is doing out here. Uh, I don't understand. This man is proven from multiple groups of people that everybody who has worked close with Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy Love Combs is traumatized. When you leave, everywhere you go, bodies, dead bodies, whether the bodies are dead proverbially, meaning that you did something to kill something inside of those people, or you literally off those people, you don't deserve grace from humanity. I'm sorry. You don't deserve grace from humanity. Do you deserve to be treated like a human? That's debatable for someone like me, right? Again, I am a knower of God, but I also know that what we confuse, like we're not supposed to go out here seeking revenge on every person that hurt us, right? But we want justice. As humans, we want justice, right? We want justice. Just will somebody tell me what exactly is the difference between justice and revenge? If you say it's intention, then it's not really different. If my intent is for you to pay for your negative behavior, cause and effect, so to speak, why do I have to also give you grace? I can't forgive you, right? That's not giving people grace. Y'all think that forgiveness means giving somebody grace too. No, forgiveness means I'm gonna act like I'm gonna do my best to act like what you did didn't happen to me. I'm gonna move on, right? I'm gonna learn from what happened, but I'm also going to not hold on to the energy, the pain, the trauma of what you inflicted upon me. That's not grace, that's just forgiveness. Those are not the same thing. So hopefully I'm praying for everybody's forgiveness. I pray for P. Diddy's forgiveness. I pray that every bad person becomes good. And I'm sorry, y'all. This every bad person becomes good, right? I pray for that. But I'm not giving y'all motherfuckers no grace. Me personally, I'm not. This old y'all kicking somebody when you down, like Marlon said. Are we supposed to lift somebody up who has literally oppressed, suppressed other people? What the fuck do I need to lift you up when you have put your foot literally on somebody's head before? What am I lifting you up for? All I can do is pray for you. Y'all in this forgiveness, this misbelief of forgiveness and grace is going to cost you. It's going to cost you because what y'all don't understand is when you are saying, oh, extend grace, you're looking like someone who's complicit in the negative behavior of others. Like I said, Marlon did this with Lil Boosie. And instead of holding people accountable, right? Y'all don't want to hold people accountable under the guise of grace. You don't want to say anything bad about what they did. And it's only because it's not done to you. Because I guarantee you, if Marlon had the same experience as these other people did with Diddy, he wouldn't say that. That's what I find weird and uncanny. When y'all faves go out here and they do nasty, disgusting, evil, inhumane things to other humans, and y'all just be like, oh, don't knock them when they down, just give them grace. Excuse me, but you're a pussy. I hold everybody accountable around me. Swear to God. And like I said in one of my prior videos, I am so grateful for what I was born into, not having the most upstanding parents. Because not only did they teach me forgiveness, but they also taught me nobody deserves to be on a pedestal. When you put somebody on a pedestal, make them unreachable, and it's like you put them in a place where they can't even be held accountable. Nobody on this planet is above reproach. Y'all are not that special, and I'm not either. Hold me accountable. That's why a lot of people don't like me because when y'all tell me I do something wrong, and I realize I know deep down inside that I did something wrong, I will hold space for that. I'm like, you know what? That's you right. I was wrong. Cause even my mama, she'll try to do that too. She'll be like, you this and you that, and I'll be like, you right, I am. What they got to do with me? What I'm talking about though? I can be all the things that you. I can be everything you call me, and I can admit to it. It don't mean I'm not right. That'd be the problem. So, and I say in my book, because this is what we're gonna talk about today, my book. I say in my book, we have to start with the blind black loyalty. Because somebody is black does not give them the right to do nasty, heinous things. Don't come in here talking about no bullshit, fucking excuse that all of y'all tend to say when you don't have a mind of your own. Well, y'all need to have the same energy for Weinstein. You need to have the same energy for the white people who do this. We black. I'm not paying attention to what they do. They are already awful. What do I care about what they got going on? The question is, why are y'all trying to be like them? Because how dare you say, oh, when it comes to R. Kelly and Diddy, oh, but Hugh Hefner, fuck him too. What are we talking about? That's just like saying I can't hold you accountable again because you black and somebody white is doing the same thing you doing. Are y'all stupid? Is y'all okay? Is you cool? But okay, enough about that. I'm not gonna make like I said, this video is not about him. I just had to touch on that a little bit because it's crazy. Again, every day I'm gonna talk. We're gonna get into this book for real, but every day, y'all, every day I'm getting confirmation. When I tell y'all every day, I'm not lying. Literally every single day, whether it's out here in the real world and my interactions with other humans, whether it's I log into social media and I see something that confirms or affirms it, or a conversation comes up with me and my friends or close loved ones, everything that I talk about in this book is relevant to today's society. It's relevant to what we are experiencing right now, and it's relevant to the change that we have to really make if we, as a people in general, because this book, even though it's for Black people, everybody can learn something from this book. Be clear. My audience, my target audience is Black people, but it is no way a human being would read this book and not pick up something. I can say that with my chest. God, oh my God, strike me down now if I'm lying. Everybody can pick up at least one thing. If you pick up one thing, that's always your money well spent. There's no way y'all know everything that I wrote in this book. So, because even sometimes I read and I be like, damn, I said that, I forgot. You know? So let's talk about Thorn to the Eye. I'm finna get real deep into this book. I'm gonna do another breakdown of this book um right before it's released. But this time I want to talk about what led me to create this book. Okay. Now the next time I talk about this book in depth, I'm going to so today, let me hold on. Let me go back. I'm sorry, y'all. Today, I'm going to talk about what led me to create this book. I'm going to read a little bit of the sample chapter that you can actually go ahead and read now. I'm going to put a little sample out early. Okay, get people ready for the pre-order, which is going to be January 16th. And the actual official date that you can read this book will be February 6th, 2026. So I'm gonna tell y'all, like I've been saying over and over again, I had no plans. When I tell y'all no plans to write this book, when we got into this new year of 2025, I was writing the sequel to my fiction novel that came out in October of 2024, which is called The Underground Kingpin by Jasmine C. Hall. Okay, that's my real name. That's my real author name. I got two names for my work. The J Lovely is going to be the accountability coach and ghetto psychologist. That's not going to be who I am as a fiction artist, right? Even though I'm the same person as a fiction author, I really I don't want to talk about my fiction work that much because even though I love writing and have been writing damn near my entire life since I could really write, um, my fiction work that's just passion, right? That's just passion work. This is my life. This is my life. So you might not see me promote my fiction work that often. Because again, my fiction work is just passion. It's me just getting it out there because it can be enjoyed at any point in time. What I'm doing that's relevant to the now is this. So you're gonna see me push my J Lovely work way more than I push my Jasmine work, Jasmine C. Hall work. So that being said, I had no plans to write this book. When I tell y'all zero plans, I can even, well, I ain't finna go through all of it. But when I look, because I have a book for a life plan. Yes, I have a book for my plan of my life. I'm that organized and that intentional about who the fuck I am and what I'm doing. And in my book plan, in my plan of books, there was no thorn to the eye there. There was not going to be a book written for Black people about unplugging from the system in the beginning of this year. This is how I'm being over dramatic or whatever the fuck. I want there to be an overemphasis on there was no plan for me to write this book because I need y'all to understand how crazy it is when God sets something on you to do something and you just can't ignore it. You can't let go. You know what I'm saying? He won't let off. She won't let off. They won't let off. So March came, because this is when I started writing this book, March of this year, 2025. And all I know was I was tired, sad, frustrated, angry, defeated, angry, sad, frustrated. Yes, I'm repeating that because I want y'all to know how deep these emotions that I felt going into this new administration that I knew, and most of us who have common sense, which we know is not that common, we just knew we were going into an era that was not going to be one of unity. Since this president has taken office again, the second time, the policies he's pushing out, the rest of the world is following America's footsteps. I need y'all to know that the US is always the leaders. What we do, people copy us. Okay? They copy us. They hate us, but they also look up to us for what to do in the world. Why? It just is what it is, right? Just because of how quickly we built up a nation. But y'all gotta understand we was built so quickly because it was off the back of slaves. We talk about this, but that's anyway. So I was just tired and I don't know. I can't even, it's crazy. This is how you know God be moving through you when you just do something, create something, or you experience something, and you can't even remember the direct flow of events because it's almost like you're just unconsciously doing things. I unconsciously just began to write out all of my frustrations when it comes to the world as a Black woman, right? As one of the most oppressed groups next to Native American women and next to Black trans women. I know ain't nobody fucking with me, right? On both ends, brother. Ain't nobody fucking with me like they can't touch me, and ain't nobody fucking with me because I'm Black female. They don't like Black female, right? Because the world's been taught not to like me, to undermine everything I say, to use me though, because they know I'm smart, but they don't want me to know that I know I'm smart. They don't want me to know that I'm smart. They don't want me to know that they know I'm smart. This is how the world treats Black women. We've done everything. First self-made millionaire in this country is a Black woman. A Black woman? Self-made millionaire. Self-made. Mean nobody gave her nothing. She built it from the ground up. A Black woman? So y'all already know what we made of. But the thing is, you don't want us to know what we made of. Fuck yeah. Because I do. And the frustration, I wrote it down. And before I knew it, I was just writing and writing. And then I was like, you know what? This is turning into a book. Oh, I can make a little 100 page, 150 pages. Then I just started getting into all of this research. I was like, okay, let me be very concise about what I'm going to talk about, since I got like 20 pages and I was like, oh, I can't stop. So let's break this down. So I just broke this down. I broke everything down. Let me tell you how I broke it down. I broke everything down from self-love. Let me go through my table of contents, girl. All right. So from self-love to white superiority to religion to gender ideals to sexual oppression and suppression to romantic standards and expectations. I talked about parenting, the political system, racial construct, socioeconomic status, education system, healthcare, judgmental thoughts. Talk about every fucking thing in this book almost. I can't even. It's like, and I know again, I when I get quiet like this, it's because I'm listening to what spirit's telling me to come back with you guys. Because I already know how the average mind thinks. Again, I am a psychologist. Literally, I'm not just saying it. I got a fucking master's degree and I'm actually still in school. So I know how people think. And let me start by saying this. I'm not humble. I know who I am, and I will tell you who I am. I have no problem telling you who I am. I don't even say it in a braggadocio way. I just want you to know I'm shit. Period. You can't take that away from me. You can try to make me think otherwise, but that will be a hating ass motherfucking move. So, and I'm not gonna believe you anyway. I'm just gonna be pissed off that you a hater. So when I'm talking about these things, understand I am not bragging really just about myself because again, God really did this. I did not plan again for the 18th time. I didn't plan to write this motherfucking book. So when I'm bragging about this book, I'm not even bragging about it in a way. It's weird because yeah, I did it, but I don't feel like I did it. If it makes sense, I don't feel like I did made this book. Even though I did. I sat here and I'm still I read this book as if I did not write it. I read this book. Of course, I should be keep reading it because it's my book, but I read this book almost as if I did not write the words on the page because I need to learn from whatever was filtered through me to type this out. I need to ingest it my damn self. This is again how I know this is a calling from God and not all me. I'll never say it's all God, but it's not all me. So writing this book really was a form of therapy for me. And when I wrote it, I did not think about myself. This is why I feel so fine with bragging about it because it's not about me. I thought about what this book could do if it got in the right hands. And when I say the right hands, I said this before too, but when I say the right hands, I mean people who really are like on the edge of understanding how society is oppressing them and separating us and just being divisive and really evil, and how we tap into that evilness subconsciously through social conditioning and societal expectations and standards. This book will open your eyes to that. It is going to remove that thorn out of your eye. It's going to take the rose colored glasses off. And like anything else, right? If you ever, I don't know if anybody ever got stabbed or you got a splinter from a small end or you got stabbed before on the high end. When you take whatever you are impaled with out, it hurts. You bleed. It's painful. It's almost more painful than it staying inside. So it's gonna hurt. The words in this book may make you uncomfortable. I make multiple disclaimers in this book because I'm straight shot. No, I'm straight shot. No shooter, no chaser. I do not beat around the bush. I say things very brashly, very bluntly. Y'all, if you watch my page, you know that I just talk like that. I just talk like this. I'm not cutting. I'm not cutting out nothing. I'm not gonna be overly nice about nothing, right? But I literally hold everybody accountable in this book. I hold black people accountable, of course. I hold white people accountable. I hold straight people accountable. I hold queer people accountable. I hold everybody accountable. Women, men, other groups of PLC. Everybody is mentioned in this book because everybody contributes to white supremacy, which is the byproduct of white supremacy, which is anti-blackness. Everybody contributes to it. Even black people are anti-black. So I wanna unplug from that. I wanna unplug from the white patriarchy. And I'm going to talk about what the white patriarchy is and why, on one end, you got people who so tired of hearing, I'm so tired of hearing y'all say the word patriarchy. Y'all learn new words and y'all just wear them out. This is for the dumb people. If you said that before, you're a dummy. And it's okay because you don't have to always be dumb. You can get smart. It's not hard to get smart. I have a video on TikTok that says it's not hard to be smart. It's really not hard to be smart. And I'm not saying you got to be like a genius. I'm not saying you have to be like this all-knowing being, but to be smart is just to know how to think before you speak, research what you don't know, and admit what you don't know. When y'all are dumb, when you're dumb, that means you act like you know everything. People who act like they know everything are the biggest dummies. See, because I'm quick to tell you, I don't know. Or not open my mouth about a subject I have no idea about. I don't talk about shit I don't know about. But when I do know shit, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it confidently. And y'all not gonna rock. You can't rock me. People will try, but I just be like, you wasting your time. Because you are talking to someone who it's not even just about me having a degree. Because even before I had my master's degree in psychology, I've been an avid studier. I've been into sociology and psychology. I'm talking about years and years and years of research. I've been on this. So getting a degree just added more to it because it's structured in a more effective and cohesive way, if that makes sense. So now I can put all excuse me, now I can put it all together in a way that makes sense, i.e. why I made this book. So the white patriarchy. I don't want to go too far back, but we have to understand the foundation in which this fucking country was built upon, the foundation in which religion, especially Christianity, which is the majority, was built upon, and it was all built upon anti-blackness. This country is not a country of what they made it seem to be. This fake ass American dream. The American dream only applies to white people. And more specifically, the apex would be the white male. The white male don't know any kind of oppression besides potentially being poor. Imagine all of these levels of oppression we have, from class system, sexism, race, okay? All of these levels of oppression that we have, and it's even more than that, but these are just the general ones. And white men literally potentially only experience one level of oppression, and that's just through their socioeconomic status. They have no idea what the fuck is out here in the world unless they listen to people. Good luck, right? Then you got the white women who they can know a little bit more oppression, but because of their proximity to white men, they want to hold on to the privilege that they have, like I said, through association. So most of the time, even when they know their oppression, they can't see it in other people anyway because of that privilege that blinds them through their association with the white male. It's a man's world. And there's so many different theories behind why. But one theory that I speak about in the book is just the fact that women have more power when it comes to birthing children and reproduction. We have more freedom than men do. And this is what they confuse, right? They confuse oppression. They confuse the fact that we have more power when it comes to reproduction, and they confuse the fact that we have more freedom when it comes to expression, with that we have more rights than they do, or we have it better than they do, which is weird because they ignore how we don't have it better than them because they made it so we don't, because they jealous. I talk about vagina envy. Vagina envy is so real. These men are really upset with women for being women. Just upset that we exist. They created a standard in which men have to be tough. They can't feel. They should not have any emotions. They should always be logical because in their brains, the direct opposition to logic is emotional, which is not true. You cannot be a logical person if you turn off your emotions. You can't, because you're a human. You can't. First of all, you can't turn off your emotions. All you can try to ignore them, but then you gonna react and not even know why you're reacting, because the system in which we actually operate by, we need our emotions. So this is why men are feeling, and they can act like they not because it's a man's world. But why are y'all offing each other and yourselves? Why do y'all do that so much? Why are y'all so violent? Why y'all so evil? Women are not doing what men are doing out here. And that's not to say that women are perfect. We know that. But when we look at the two individual groups, and when people are talking about the patriarchy, men get so offended because it's like on one end they know how terrible they do in comparison to women, but they also can't let go of the patriarchy because those values keep them above women. They have, even though we have more freedom of expression, men have more freedom of movement. They can do way more than women can do. And I'm not even talking about like being physically capable. I'm just talking about how society places the oppression or pressure on women to not behave a certain way, but men get to. Boys will be boys, men will be men. Let men be, let them do this. But women, you better try your best to be perfect, girl. Or we gonna hold it over your head for the rest of your life. Cause again, there's higher standards for women than there are men. And you want to know why they do that? Because they realize how much power we have. So they're like, no, you got more power, so you can't behave, you can't misbehave like we can. And on one end, I get it. Kind of agree. I kind of agree with that. Because as women, we should know our power and we shouldn't move as reckless as men do. We really shouldn't. I believe that. But there shouldn't be pressure about it either. Because I should still have the freedom to do whatever the fuck I want to do as a human being. Because at the end of the day, woman or not, I'm human first. Right? And I know that's like you contradicting yourself. No, not really, because that's the way the whole world is a contradiction. Life is a contradiction. You ain't even supposed to want what you want. You know that? If you are too desperate for something, it will literally energetically repel what you want. You're supposed to act like you already have what you want, even though it does not. It's not here in reality. Is that not a contradiction? The whole fucking element of existence is a conundrum. Talk about it a little bit in this book, just a little bit. I ain't go too deep because that's a whole nother level. That might be another book. If I talk about the conundrum of being alive in this realm of existence and how almost everything is the opposite. What is that? It's a oh my God, it's something in the 12 laws of the universe that talks about this. Hang on, I'm finna look this up because if I don't, it's gonna drive me crazy. And then I'm gonna go ahead and read this chapter, half of this chapter to y'all. But it's something about existence that it's just everything is a contradiction, damn near. Hold on, here we go. Oh, I don't see it. Hang on, y'all. Here we go. It's the law of polarity, I think. Because everything has an opposite. But that's not it. It was another one, y'all. I can't. Damn, I really can't remember, y'all. But it's something like that. But y'all gotta look at it. And I talk about that, the 12 laws of the universe, because no matter what you believe in, if you believe in the 12 laws of the universe and you understand that for every action there's a reaction, for every aspect there is an opposite, and when we live in that conundrum of sorts, we start to understand that on one end there are a certain set of rules to existence and life that would be helpful if we follow them. But everybody's not going to follow them. So that goes back to what I said. Do I think that it would be better for women, because of the power we have, to be a little bit more, what's the word am I looking for? Focused, I guess, than men, which we typically are? And I would say, yeah, because of who we are, right? But do I think that all women should? That's the word. I don't like should. I might make a video about should too, the word should. But should we? Not necessarily. We all have to live our own lives the way we see fit. But you'll get to a certain point in your life as a woman where you realize, oh, I can't be like that. But men also need to get to a certain point in their life where they realize they can't be like that, regardless of what the world tells them they can be. Again, the rules of the patriarchy, um, is why so many men have so much pressure in the first place. The same rules y'all set up for yourselves is y'all built your own fucking graves with these same rules. These same rules put y'all in the box that y'all complain about. And again, as a black man, if you're watching this, you didn't set the rules, but you damn sure try to enforce them harder than almost any other group. Black men all day talk about masculinity, femininity. Women should do this. Men should be this. It's gay to do that. It's gay to do this. I know y'all tired. And do you want to know how I know y'all tired? Y'all off each other too much. Y'all off yourself too much. I know y'all are tired. So why not just listen to what the fuck people are telling y'all to stop doing? Everything is not gay. You're not a simp if you love women and listen to them and actually do what they ask you to do. You're not a simp. As long as it's reciprocal, right? Long as you know the woman you doing it for will do it for you. And half the time y'all have women who you know would do it for you and you don't want to do it back because the patriarchy. It's a man's world. But then these women leave y'all, which a lot of women are doing. There's a male loneliness epidemic. And then y'all don't take accountability for that. Cause y'all don't think it's a accountability to have when you get broken up with. You do have to take accountability when somebody break up with you. Cause why the fuck did they leave you? Ain't nobody leaving good things. Nobody leaves good things behind. So you think you a good thing, but every woman keep leaving your ass? What the fuck is good about you? And if you are good, then you can't be. Cause that means you're not a good picker then. And if you ain't a good picker, then that means you ain't always good. There's some other work that need to be done. And the same thing go for women. Let me tell you what women's problem. Women problem is under the patriarchy. We're too male centered. Everything's about a man. Everything the man is always above all, even to some of us above our children, above ourselves, because of the standard of the patriarchy and the overemphasis of male value and the underemphasis of female value. So you got these things around here again thinking that they don't have to appeal to the feminine, but y'all want the feminine. Y'all want us. You want access. You want sex. You want to siphon that feminine energy without being feminine yourselves. Because you know what that feminine energy does. But the vagina envy too, it's like the whole undervaluing fatherhood and undervaluing your contribution to reproduction. Because that's the problem too. Men undervalue their contribution to reproduction. I looked at a video not too long ago on TikTok where they was just talking about the quality of sperm and how men really think, and we all been told that men can have babies their whole life. And even though there is some element of truth to that, do y'all know that the quality of male sperm, it more than doubles. Well, let me see how I'm saying this wrong. It depletes by more than twice the time. So meaning that by the time a man is 40, the genetic code of his sperm is more likely to be oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, the word just left my mind. I hate when it happens. But the quality of the male sperm is depleted. It's not good by the time they can hit 40. It's double that. It's twice as worse than when they were 20. And then when they get to 50 and 60, according to that video, men really should not be trying to have babies in 50 and 60 because they're more likely to be a little slow. Maybe have some kind of developmental delays. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. So men, yeah, you can have babies up until you die. But what kind of baby you gonna have? And I can say this is true. My own father, let me tell you something. My daddy had a baby. Hold on, how old my daddy? 60. What year is this? He's 67 this year. I have little brothers. I think my oldest little brother, and that's my oldest little brother, is in this last group of children he had. My oldest little brother, oh my God, I can't. I think he like 15. So that means my daddy was 52 when he had him. And then, like I said, it was four of them because one of them has gone on to glory. God rest his soul. I'm sorry, I gotta take a deep breath after that. Um, and then one of my other little brothers is autistic. And then the oldest one, I know this is my little brother. I shouldn't say this, but I can't lie. He a little cognitively delayed. I said all of this to say the last group of my daddy's children, you can tell they that the quality of sperm that he contributed to the egg was not quality. So y'all need to stop trying to convince us you can have children your entire life. I don't want no old man babies. Cause I be damn my baby come out slow. If I can stop it, it's different if I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But because I know, I don't want no old man babies. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, I don't even know how we got on that topic, but I'm gonna end on reading a few minutes of this chapter 4. This is chapter 4 of Thorn to the Eye, a Black Person's Guide to Unplugging from the System by me, J. Lovelii. Look at that cover art. That shit. You can't tell me if you saw this in a bookstore, if you saw this in the library, you wouldn't want to be like, what's that? Cause I am again, I be looking at my own content, my own shit, as if it's not mine. Tell me that's not attractive. Anyway, so chapter 4 is about unplugging from negative gender ideals. Okay, again, this is chapter 4. So if you have any questions about anything, that means you just need to read the rest of the book. Whatever you feel like you don't know or you didn't get enough understanding about, you just need to read the rest of the book. And I'm not even going to read the entire chapter. Okay, so again, before I get started, pre-order is going to be, and if you got this far, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video. Pre-order is going to be January 16th. I believe that's a Friday. And then um the release date is February the 6th, which is a Friday. Yeah, both of them are Fridays. So the 16th, and then 3 weeks later, the book will be released. Okay. So it's only 3 weeks from the pre-order to the release. Um, before I get started with reading this, there was something else I wanted to add. Oh yeah, it's this the full chapter. Now you can go ahead and read the full chapter for after you once I post this video. In the link will be in the link. Jesus, in the description box will be a link to the full chapter 4 preview. That's the only preview y'all getting is I'll give y'all the whole chapter 4. But again, you got several other chapters that go along with it. So if you are left feeling like you need more, that just means again, you need to read the book. Invest in it. It's not gonna be expensive. Books are not expensive. No, it's not gonna be any expensive than any other book you probably paid for. It will be digital and also a paperback copy. And the paperback copy will come limited time though, will come with my autograph. Now you're gonna always be able to get the paperback copy, but they're not always gonna be my autograph. All right. So on this note, we're gonna read for the next 5 minutes, chapter 4, which is unplugged from negative gender ideals. Okay, and I'm gonna start off this chapter reading the disclaimer. Disclaimer, I don't usually use the term female to refer to girls and women, but to keep it simple and consider all age groups, I will use the term to refer to cisgendered women and girls in this chapter. Also, please do not take offense to the word hoe. I am a self proclaimed one, as I have recoined the term in a positive way. If you are a man, brace yourself to feel offended. This is not an attack on men, but an attack on the patriarchy. Try not to confuse the two, just like white people and white supremacy. Don't attack the truth teller, attack the truth and make it better. Some parts may also offend you ladies, okay? Because I talk about everybody. Now, before jumping into this topic, it is important to know the effects of epigenetics because it bridges the gap on how the trauma of slavery shaped our current mindset surrounding everything, but particularly gender issues. Slavery is the period that Black people became plugged into this patriarchal matrix of white supremacy, which is why it will be the major reference to our downfall as a race. We must be aware of the biological effects. Epigenetics refers to the markers on DNA that affect gene expression, and gene expression is basically which genes are turned on and off. Trauma does not change DNA itself, but it can determine how we are predisposed to respond to certain environmental factors or stressors. It affects our overall health as well. There is evidence that sperm cells carry traces of childhood stress, making trauma hereditary through males. Our trauma is not only psychological, but genetic. So even if you were not directly taught anything mentioned in this book, the mindset and behavior may have been passed down generationally, and not to mention the subliminal effects of societal norms we internalize. The concept of gender matters as another means to separate us and form another hierarchy. Remember, it's the first degree of separation you experience as a human. Sex, gender is not important in terms of how we approach the world because, regardless of gender/sex, we are human first. Double standards, which are mostly based upon sex/gender, never serve any party because they are based on falsities and generalizations that don't align with most of us naturally. Welcome to the patriarchy. Fellas, at this party, you will be able to see women but not hear them. Your value is based on how much wealth you have, how many women you can attract, and the value of the woman you commit to. So, you better know how to get to the money and support everyone you love. You better be the tough guy that can beat any man around you. Oh, and whatever woman you snag better be a beautiful, freaky, virgin like type that everyone wants until you want her, but no one can have her but you. You must make sure she is always positively representing you. Add in the wilder you are and the less you behave, the more you will get fake praise from your male cohorts and attention from women. Sounds fun, right? Ladies, don't worry. When you get to this party, you must sit pretty and not say a word. You better have the preferred slim, thick body build, light skinned, and long, straight hair. If you don't know how to be domestic by cooking and cleaning, you'll have a hard time getting chosen. You shouldn't do much at first besides be available for the guy with the most money and that all the girls want. You shouldn't care if he has good character or not, just good money and charm. Oh, he can do whatever he wants. And you must love him and stay by his side until he either eventually stops loving you due to boredom and or your aging/sickness, or either of you die, likely him. You can't leave for any reason or it is your fault. Make sure you put him first though, through everything, even before your children. Doesn't it sound like a blast? Yeah, no. But that is the standard that most are trying to get us to adhere to. It's important we deeply explore the negative effects of the white patriarchy on gender identity and relations across genders. Sexism has existed longer than racism. Religion was a start of the world's distrust of women, specifically Christianity and Islam. Eve is blamed for the curse on women because she allowed herself to be tricked into eating from the forbidden tree. No one looks at Eve as a victim or even wonders where Adam was when she ate from the tree. Wasn't it his job to lead and protect? Or is that why women are supposed to be led now? Why is it that no one thinks he failed as a man? There has been an attack on women by men, just like there has been an attack on black people by white people, starting with how you perceive the first story of humanity. Galatians chapter 3 verse 2 says that in Christ there is no male or female. In other words, gender doesn't matter. Within a deeper meaning, God is non-binary. The proper nouns are they. God is the essence of femininity. If we look at nature, the focus is on existence and just being. Allowance and nurture, that is feminine. It is the physical realm and the act of doing that is masculine. God does not care about any of these that we care about. Any of these things that we care about. The worldly concepts discussed in this book, such as race, gender, body type, or money, does not matter to our Creator, which is why it really shouldn't matter to us. Labels are worldly because in the afterlife, it is all left behind. Remember, we are simply a soul having a human experience. Your time as a human is minuscule in the scheme of existence. The relationship we have with gender has always been complex. We tend to think gender and sex are the same when they are not. Yes, scientifically, you are likely to be one of two sexes, except for intersex beings, but gender is your own relationship with your sexual identity. Only you can determine your gender. It is another social construct. I'm not sure why this is so hard to understand or why it's even argued. No one can tell someone who they are. One cannot tell someone how they feel. What argument is to be had about someone's own identity? Additionally, another person's gender has no real effect on anyone but said person. It is not a scientific argument because science describes gender as previously said. However, it is a religious argument disguised as moral discourse. I'm almost done. Gender identity and sexual orientation is another concept many confuse as the same when they are not. The feeble mindedness of humanity leads us to associate our sexual parts to sexual orientation. Because gender is sexualized, no matter what you identify as, it will always be associated to what you should like. If someone has a vagina, they should like a penis, and vice versa. When someone deviates by being gay, trans, or non binary, it causes confusion, something humans hate. That hate turns into fear, and fear creates irrationality. When someone identifies as a sex they weren't born as, it seems to cause 97 to 98% of people to try to rationalize what they don't understand. However, instead of doing the work and becoming educated about this group of people, they'd rather just call it wrong. It's easier. Conversely, if a trans person likes the same gender, essentially making them straight biologically, it is even more confusing to that 97 to 98%. Ironic, isn't it? I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, this is chapter 4, sample. Um, this is gonna be available. Look down in the description box if you want to read more, if you want to see what else is said in this chapter. And when you do download this chapter, you will automatically be joined to my email list. So you'll be one of the first people to know directly when the pre-order goes out. You'll know when the official launch day goes, how that goes. And again, when you order the digital copy on January 16th, you will get half of the book up front. You get half of the book up front. So you get time to read the first, I think what, six, yeah, 6 or 7 chapters. I'll let you read the first 6 or 7 chapters. And then once the book is released on February 6th, you get the entire book and you can go ahead and read the rest of it. I got a plan. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I sometimes I be feeling like I'm rambling. I don't know if I rambled or not. But I know when I ramble, it don't be all bullshit. You be picking up something. In a way you ain't picking up something that I put down. And if you love what you read, what you heard me read so far, make sure you click the link. Subscribe. Like this video. Drop a comment if you want to. If you're nasty. I love you guys, and I'll see you on which one? The next one.